So I welcome all to a cold workshop in 2026. I think my dehumidifier is claiming it's about 4 degrees inlet temperature. So not the best working environment, and as you'll have seen, I haven't produced a video in some time. I really just was not feeling up to doing anything. I'd barely been out to the workshop for about a month, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I thought I'd just do something useful, which is to give the place a little bit of a tidy up. So you can see lots of clean surfaces, and indeed my tooling shelves are completely empty, and that's because in the process of tidying up, this bit is not so tidy, I decided to tackle the long outstanding job I've wanted to do, which is to rearrange everything in the workshop. All the machines are going to move, including all the stuff down this side. This set of cabinets and bench will probably move, so pretty much everything. So I've taken things a little bit further than I'd originally intended, but I think we are now close to the point where I can start moving everything. So I'll need to borrow one of the neighbours to lift the surface plate out the way. I can then unpack the cabinets. Some drawers are simply going to be light enough. That's mostly lathe inserts and tooling. I can just take the drawer out in its entirety. Other ones, like my drawer full of parallels and setup blocks, it's far too heavy and will have to be emptied. But then with those light enough, the plan is to manoeuvre them over here. This lathe can then roll into this gap, at which point there'll be enough room for the far end to swing round towards me, and the shelves will be dismantled and put out the way. So the lathe will get pushed end on to that corner. The milling machine I put on casters the last time I moved it, and in fact rolls very easily, so that'll get shuffled to one side. We'll squeeze past the lathe. We'll squeeze past the big L6, which will then end up across the end wall. It just fits into the gap without sticking out beyond the edge of the door, which the mill currently does, and that was one of the things. If I hadn't wound the table over, you would sometimes end up catching yourself on the handle. Not so much me, certainly visitors. The little L5 will then swing round to face the L6, so you'll basically stand between the two machines and face either way to operate them. With the L6, the tail stock will end up in the corner, and any long stock that protrudes from the headstock can then come across the corridor, which, since it's nearly always me on my own here, is not a problem. With the L5 facing the other way, there will have to be a substantial gap between the headstock and the wall to allow the use of long stock. So I'll probably have some of my storage. I think I may end up changing shelves around or building a little storage unit for chucks and tailstock tooling. I need to build a rack, my quick change tool posts for the 2 lathes. Then the milling machine will end up somewhere in this area, at which point it's possible to have and I should say it will end up facing with the controls facing into this gap, so where I'm standing will be where you operate it. That means that cabinets can go behind it in what at the moment in its current position is kind of a dead place. It will allow me to be able to rotate the turret and bring the slotting head into a usable position, which it really hasn't been up to now. It's was quite a performance of moving the ram backwards and forwards to create room to swing the turret around in stages. So then I think this row of cabinets will probably end up down this wall. The long stalled CNC refurbs of the little Denford Easy Mill and the Easy Turn lathe will then end up where the cabinets are, and hopefully with room to get some work done on them. And then the bench and the cabinets down the wall near the windows, which will be a little bit better for lighting, and the bandsaw and the pillar drill more towards where the lathe is. So how much of this I'm going to film? Probably not very much. The only effective way to do it would be a time lapse, and I don't really want to have to give up any of my working space to a tripod. But anyway, that's the current plan, and we'll see how we progress. Well, it's only about an hour later that the 2 tool cabinets got moved. I just took the drawers. Some of the drawers I unpacked, some of the drawers I just lifted out, and was then able to slide the cabinets, the epoxy floor on the sheet metal, and they slid quite easily, which suddenly makes the workshop seem quite large. The lens really doesn't do the space justice, and I have dismantled the shelf in the corner, so now I am all set to roll the lathe across. To be honest, it's been sitting on rollers ever since it came in here. The Harrison lathes are, the bed is shimmed to the stand, which is meant to be rigid enough, and it specifically says you don't bolt them down, you just use the levelling feet. This could have done with being up on its feet, because I had vibration issues on unbalanced loads. Not enough to affect the job I was doing, but certainly something that when it goes to its hopefully more permanent location, I'll deal with it. The little L5 is on feet at one end and a roll at the other. Again, because I hadn't ever quite got round to setting it up in final position, because I thought I'd change it. Again, it wasn't anything that was affecting any of the jobs I had to do. But that will all hopefully get resolved, because everything should be a little bit easier to get to. If I need to work on the back side of this one again, it'll be relatively easy to get rollers in it move it out, then put a roller in at 90 degrees and swing that end, and then swing the other end and get it out. But I'm quitting for the day. In the end, my neighbour wasn't home yet. I do have a very good set of neighbours who are always willing to help out if they're about, but I managed to lift the surface plate off the cabinets. It was awkward, it was heavy, but I could get it off and safely down to floor level, at which point I slid it up the steps and into the other workshop for storage. But that's it for the day. Time to go and make a cup of tea and come back tomorrow. Apologies for the background noise from the dehumidifier. In addition to the compressor, this has a noisy fan on it. So I've rolled the lathe further into the room to create a clearance between the two lathes so that it can now swing. And I've repositioned the rollers so that I can start swinging it in that direction. For moving machines, I'm just using a pair of, I've got a pair of these £6 each Aldi pry bars, which have done a lot of work over the years. Brilliant purchase, and just an orphan hold down strap that I'm using as a leverage point. So there's a lifting notch in the end of the machine. So these were two short rollers. They're not long enough to go from one side of the machine to the other, so I had one under each side, but I'm using two so that I can move a little bit further. I'll roll onto this one with a bit of luck as I roll across the other, but just gonna move it in little stages and bring you back occasionally as we make progress. Okay, we've probably spent 10-15 minutes just manoeuvring the lathe. It rolls really easily, but I only roll it a few inches at a time, and I'm swapping between roller at 90 degrees to the long axis, to parallel to the long axis, to move it in the two directions. The mill rolls really easily, but because it's on four casters, it's quite difficult to control its direction. So I'm moving that very cautiously, but I do now have enough room to push it past the L6 and down to this end, and then I'll have plenty of room to manoeuvre the L6 into the corner parallel to the end wall. Well, there we go, the first machine in its final position, or at least very close to, and that has taken just about an hour. No difficulties. This floor's pretty good. The machine rolls really easily, but I've just been moving it a few inches at a time. Most of the physical effort has been leaning on the pry bar, getting enough leverage to lift whilst also being able to reach a roller to reposition it, and keeping fingers well out of the way of any possible pinch points. But no fuss, no drama. Very happy with how it's turned out. It may move a little bit more to the right. There's a reasonable gap down this end. It may go a little bit closer to the wall. You may have seen earlier that the faceplate is stored on the back rather than on the end, as with the L5. and I may just take the opportunity to unbolt it, and just in case I should ever need it, not have to fish behind the machine. I'm thinking I'll make a rear splash guard at some stage. It's pretty easy with my roller arrangement to pull the machine out from the wall to do a bit more work on it. But at this point I'm actually slightly overheating. The workshop may only be 5 degrees, but I put my thermals on and I've been putting in some effort, and now I'm going to have a cup of tea and cool down for a bit. So I've got the smaller L5 into where I think it's going to live, parallel to the L6. There's a decent amount of width between them. Got to think what I'm going to do about possibly having truck storage and so on in this area. Got to make sure that I can open the gear cover on the lathe, because I reasonably frequently convert this back and forward between imperial and the metric. It spends most of its time with the metric translation gear in there. The mill is in somewhere near the position I think it's going to end up going, just kind of out the way at the moment. This area over here is a little bit of a disaster at the moment, simply because that's where everything got put, but everything over there has to move, and I have to work out where all these machines are going. But it definitely feels like I'm going to have a more usable amount of space in here. I need to go through all the stuff that's come out of both the mill and the lathe that's ended up being chucked on top of the lathe. I need to go through all that and have a quick sort. And one possibility is the little CNC machine could go right in the corner. Often a milling machine of a ram style does fit in a corner quite well. The bridge ports or copies like this one still take up quite a lot of space. I'm kind of thinking that this sort of arrangement, but with storage alongside it, might actually work better. I'm not totally hating the idea of having the slotting head partially overhanging the lathe. That's not too bad a compromise, but I've come to the end of my energy for today, and this will probably be it for the video at the moment. There will have to be a part 2 and possibly a part 3.